Hey guys, I'm Nick Gordon. I'm one of the area managers in the Herpetology Department. Today we are talking about something super exciting. We are talking about baby king cobras. So king cobras can be challenging to try and breed because they often are considered a snake-eating species. So in the wild, they'd predominantly be feeding on other snake species, even other cobras. This presents a challenge in the fact when you're putting two together, if they're not cycled appropriately or not into the breeding mode, they may be defensive or aggressive towards each other. So we wanted to be able to mitigate that and minimize that as much as possible. So putting them together was a lot of strategizing, planning on making sure that we were cycling them appropriately so that they were in a reproductive mode, not into a feeding mode. So this meant feeding them beforehand so they weren't hungry when we paired them up, and then also cycling like they would in the wild. On the fourth time, we saw successful reproduction. King cobras are one of the unique species that nest build. Very few species other than king cobra have been shown to do this behavior, but it's a great sign for us to see as the female started gathering leaves and mulch and stuff into a big pile. And what they do is they basically make this big pile and build a nest underground, and that's where they'll lay the eggs. So once we saw the female start nest building, we knew it was pretty close to the point where we'd start to hopefully see eggs. We decided to go ahead and pull those eggs from the female. She would set them up in a situation where they could naturally hatch on exhibit. However, we didn't know exactly how many eggs there were, and that poses a potential risk for baby king cobras being in every nook and cranny of the exhibit. What we did is we went ahead and pulled the egg and then got a good count of the eggs and then set those up for artificial incubation. This allows us to keep a better eye on the eggs and then also make sure that the babies are completely secure. We know exactly how many are hatching at any given point, and we can control that incubation a little bit more. So king cobra eggs will have a varying different range in their incubation depending on temperature. So typically we see king cobra eggs hatch between 60 and 90 days. Ours hatched after about 68 days. There were a couple that hatched a few days after. So between 68 and 70 days, how long it took for the whole clutch to hatch. We ended up hatching 13 of those eggs. So having these baby king cobras is a really awesome and rare thing here in AZA zoos. And this was a monumental effort and success for not only Toledo as an institution, but also our herpetology department. It took hands-on and help from all of the staff. Everyone contributed. We even had help from our vet staff and even our communication team to be able to record some of this and share it with you guys, and even to share with other zoos. So that way we can hopefully help use this information to expand on the sustainability of this species in captivity. So while these babies won't be on exhibit for quite some time, we hope to update you guys frequently on social media with videos about how they're feeding, how they're growing, and maybe even what genders they are. You can see our male king cobra, who's the father of these babies, over in the museum in the venomous snake room.